Good afternoon. Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching News 18 Global with me, Ridhima Bhatnagar. To our top focus. The countdown to Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to the United States has officially begun. The Prime Minister's three-day visit is rather significant for strengthening the ties between the two countries, that is Washington, D.C. and New Delhi. His visit shall commence with the celebration of International Yoga Day at the United Nations headquarters. Later, he shall travel to Washington, D.C., where he will be receiving a ceremonial welcome by the White House, followed by a high-level dialogue and a state dinner with the President and the First Lady. Major defense deals are expected to be inked between both the countries, with focus on ties between the Indo-Pacific. Trade and climate change-related ties shall also be discussed between the two countries. The Prime Minister will leave for the United States on the 21st of June. Meanwhile, the Indian diaspora in the United States have already begun preparations and are extremely excited. A unity rally was organized in Washington earlier today as the diaspora was seen celebrating ahead of the visit. So let's break down the details in terms of first, what is a state visit and what is the significance of the visit of this stature. It is a formal visit by a nation's leader to another country. Now, this takes place on invite basis only. So, an invite has been extended by the United States, which was accepted by India. The Prime Minister of India is to address a joint session of the Congress. History is going to be made with his second Congress address. He is only the third Indian leader to make a state visit to the United States. So, it's extremely crucial and it talks a lot as far as how far India and United States have come as far as relations between both the countries are concerned. Now let's talk about what really is on the agenda. Of course, this is going to be a bid to strengthen the bond between both the countries. The United States President will host an official state dinner for the Prime Minister. Biden and the First Lady will also host an intimate dinner for the Prime Minister of India. The First Lady will also accompany the Prime Minister for a skilling event. President Biden and Prime Minister Modi will then attend a tech event as well. Let's take a look at some reactions.
The United States and India have many shared interests in promoting security, stability, and economic prosperity. Missouri has a strong relationship with India, whether that be the people-to-people ties, commerce, or innovation. And our connections only continue to grow. We're proud of the fact that more than 21,000 Missourians were born in India. The deep trade and investment ties between India and Missouri are on display in our more than $1 billion trading relationship we enjoy, which continues to grow. Missouri regards India as an important partner and has a successful track record of supporting Indian companies as they grow within our state.
Kansas has an important and growing relationship with the people of India. An ever-increasing number of Indian students attend our universities, and our vibrant, well-established Indian-American business community makes important contributions to our economy every single day. We Kansans join our fellow Americans in wishing you a productive time here in the United States, and we look forward to the opportunity to expand our already significant engagement with India in the weeks and years to come.
I hope you enjoy your time here in Washington, D.C. This visit will serve as another way for India and the United States to strengthen our economic and cultural relationships. I had the opportunity just a few months ago to visit India and was struck by the kindness of the people I met there. As governor, I take great pride in fostering our sister state relationship with Gujarat and know that my fellow Delawarean President Biden feels the same way.
The United States is in full anticipation and great excitement for the official state arrival visit of His Excellency Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Let me first say to His Excellency, Prime Minister Modi, welcome to the United States. I am so looking forward to greeting you next week and participating in the festivities in your honor. Prime Minister, we share many common bonds. We are both people of strong faith. We both value strong family. And we both believe that the greatest democratic virtue
आज मोदी जी को सपोर्ट करने आया हूँ। I'm very happy कि मैं यहाँ पे आ पाया हूँ आज अच्छा लगता है कि मेरे को देश से ऐसी कनेक्टिविटी फील होती है कि सब लोग यहाँ पर होते हैं। जब मोदी जी आते हैं, जब देश की प्रेजेंस यहाँ पे फील होती है, तब बहुत गर्व लगता है कि मेरा देश का मैं हिस्सा हूँ।
We are here to gather to welcome Modi ji, and we are showing our solidarity, and also on the bilateral initiative from USA and India. So the partnership in climate change.
इंडिया का लीडर जो होता है वो ऐसा होना चाहिए जो इंडिया को प्यार करता है, जिसके लिए इंडिया के दिल में आदर है, प्यार है, वही इंडिया को लीड कर सकता है. एंड मोदी जी हैज दैट क्वालिटी. नंबर 1 क्वालिटी, ही लव्स इंडिया. ही डज एवरीथिंग फॉर इंडिया, नॉट फॉर एनीबडी इन पर्टिकुलर.
Let's also now bring in our colleague Abhishek Jha, in fact, is standing by. So Abhishek, this is a visit which is historic on multiple levels. A state visit comes only because of an invite, so speaks volumes as far as relations between both the countries are concerned. But first, talk to us about 3 days as far as the visit is concerned. Who all will the Prime Minister be meeting?
Prime Minister is going to have a very packed schedule ever since he will be landing in New York, and he will participate in the next day in the yoga session that will be happening in UN headquarters. A lot of celebrities, social media influencer, people from all walks of life have been extended invitation to join Prime Minister Modi at United Nations headquarters. In fact, nations like more than 150 nations at United Nations, they have willingly express their opinion that they will be coming to participate in this Yoga Day celebration. Also, as you said, that this visit of Prime Minister Modi to USA is not the first one. It's apparently 6th or 7th visit of Prime Minister Modi in his tenure. But this particular visit is very historic in many sense. It is going to be the only third state visit that President Biden had extended to any world leaders in his tenure. It is also will be a rare occasion when Prime Minister Modi will be addressing the Congress. It will be only third time in the history that a Prime Minister of a country will be having an opportunity to address the congressional leaders. Second time in his tenure. Prime Minister will be having a Yoga Day session at United Nations. It will be symbolic. India's display of soft power at one of the highest offices in the world, when the world will witness Prime Minister Modi himself leading from that front this Yoga Day celebration.
Yeah, Abhishek, as you rightly pointed out, it's historic and significant on multiple levels. Now let's talk about what really is in the agenda in terms of the deals that we can expect or some major announcements. We are now understanding the focus, of course, will be on trade, defense, as well as climate change. Could you walk us through some key deals that could be announced?
So there is a lot of buzz around this trade, this defense deal that is expected to be announced during the visit, when Prime Minister may be having confirmation on the deal that Indian Defense Ministry is going to purchase from US, the deal about predatory drones. But so far, ME officials have been very tight-lipped about the possibility of any announcement. They have said that there are many, the dynamics of India-US collaboration and cooperation in terms of defense is very wide and huge, and just one deal cannot define it. There are maritime exercises, military exercises. We have recently seen US Air Force taking and Indian Air Force personnel having a joint exercise on our northern borders. So clearly, then recent years we have seen COMCASA also being signed between the two countries that gives sort of interoperability to the defense equipment that India has from USA, and India can operate through the US intelligence input. So issues on terrorism is something that can very much be discussed. Global issues, regional issues, everything is going to be discussed, because Prime Minister Modi will be having more than 3 occasions when he will be having bilateral meeting or one-on-one discussion with President Biden during his 3-day stay in USA.
Abhishek, I also now want to talk to you as far as the excitement on the ground with the Indian diaspora is concerned. Every time we've seen the Prime Minister make an overseas visit, he takes out dedicated time to have some sort of interaction with the Indian diaspora. What is the kind of events that are lined up for his interaction with the Indian diaspora?
We have seen Prime Minister Modi whenever he travels abroad. There is a clear sense of enthusiasm and josh among Indian diaspora across the world. But recently, we have already seen Prime Ministers visit in Madison Square or Houston. Those were the visuals when Prime Minister Modi was walking along with then President Donald Trump in the stadium, greeted by people. So those memories, those visuals are still very vivid in our mind. But this time around, the scale of diaspora engagement is not going to be that grand and that huge, but he is going to have a a small meeting of Indian diaspora. The people will be very select. But we have seen the kind of euphoria is already generated on the ground. There is a welcome march that is being organized in New York, Washington. We have seen reports or the welcoming remarks made by the representatives of Congress from both sides of the aisle, from Republican senators, from Democratic senators. So we can kind of gauge the sentiment or the spirit that the USA currently has to welcome Prime Minister Modi, be it political, people from commerce, trade, economy, or normal Indian diaspora who has been living in USA for a very long time. They are also very excited with Prime Minister's latest visit in USA.
Abhishek, lastly, I also want to understand, we are understanding the Prime Minister will address the joint Congress as well. I believe this is the second address to the Congress. Could you give us more details about that as well?
Of course, this is again a historic opportunity when Prime Minister will be only the third leader in the history of USA who will have an opportunity to address Congress leaders. The Prime Minister had addressed such meeting way back in 2014 when he was on his first visit to USA. But this time also when he will have an opportunity to engage with those representatives of Congress in the Parliament of USA, one can say, it will be an occasion where the two largest democracies of the world will be coming together and discuss about the challenges around the world, not only the defense challenges or strategic challenges or the short-term economical challenges that the world is facing. The democracy, the spirit of democracy, the human rights of all the people, the gender equalization across the world, or no gender discrimination, racial discrimination. So all sort of discrimination have been abolished ever since these democracies have found some space and rooting in India and in USA, and how to enhance that, how to strengthen that, and how to increase this expanse of democracies across the world. This is something that Prime Minister Modi may be giving giving a message through his address in Congress when he will be having a conversation. We have already seen a kind of welcome by both sides of Republicans and Democrats, senators and Congress members. They have been releasing their statements and video statements welcoming Prime Minister. So we can assume that there can be some of the mark or some informal interactions also with some senators with the Prime Minister Modi.